Welcome to Help We're Trying Here podcast from Rima Synergy. Good news, this is our seventh episode, guys. Seven. When we started the first one, we went like, can we even do this? But now, with your support, with your feedback, we made it up to number seven. For those of you who are new to this channel, please go ahead and like and also follow us and subscribe so that you can be notified of our next episodes. Now, what is the topic for today? Today, the topic is building financial resilience. So how does building financial resilience tie in with a strengths coach, a well-being coach, as well as a confidence coach? So today, that's what we're going to be talking about, building financial resilience from the viewpoint of confidence, strengths, and well-being. And with that, let's get into the introduction of our speakers for today. Let's start with Hanaa, please. A short introduction about yourself. Over to you, Hanaa.
Thank you, Sylma. Hello, everybody. My name is Hanaa Wong Abdullah. I am a certified strengths coach. I do strengths with Capfinity out of the UK, and we do a strengths profile. There's the expert profile, leaders profile, team profiles. There's also the free profile that you can do if you go to strengthsprofile.com. And I've been doing this for quite a number of years. I'm very passionate about it to help people find what are their top strengths. Don't worry about your weaknesses because your weaknesses are probably somebody else's strengths. So let them go and do what they're good at. You do what you're good at. I do what I'm good at. So that's basically what I love doing. Over to you, Sylma.
Thank you very much, Hanaa. Yes, Hanaa, our resident strengths coach. Now let's move on to Johan. Over to you, Johan. A quick introduction of yourself.
Thank you, Sylma. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our seventh episode. Can't imagine that it's been seven. We just fumbled our way through this, and it's 7 episodes already. And thank you very much for following us and tuning into our channel and listening to us mumble and talk along on different topics so
You
far.
mumble, we don't mumble.
Oh, I know I'm the mumbles. Okay. So my name is Johan. I'm a performance and well-being coach. I also do business coaching as well for entrepreneurs. And today's topic is really interesting because, whose lives are not affected by finance. But let's look at it from how that can help us in our well-being and also how we can then perform better in our finances as well. So looking forward to today's session, as I hope you guys are as well. And we'll see you again shortly after I pass over to Sylma. Over to you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Johan. Thank you, Hanaa. Right. So back to our topic, building financial resilience. So you might be thinking, how does it tie in with a confidence coach, a strengths coach, and a well-being coach, right? So that is what we're going to be talking about today. Number one is the how, and number two, the tips on how to build financial resilience. Okay, but a little bit of definition. What is financial resilience? So financial resilience basically involves developing the ability to withstand financial setbacks and recover quickly from them. So you are faced with a challenge, a financial challenge, and how quick you recover from that is financial resilience. So let's look at a viewpoint from a the well-being part, right? So for this part, let's go ahead and discuss this with Johan. So Johan, how does well-being, you can't get away from stress and also anxiety, right?
Yes.
So how does stress and anxiety impact financial decisions? Over to you.
Thank you very much. Very good question. Basically, talking about financial resilience. Before the pandemic, if you talk to people in finance, they would say at least have 6 months worth of savings to cover your daily or monthly expenses. But when the pandemic happened, then we realized that sometimes 6 months is not enough. If it wasn't for, in certain situations, help from the government or help from our family members or even from companies, some of us might not have been able to survive through the pandemic. But going back to this and how does it impact our well-being? So let's just look at financial resilience or financial needs, right? So we have this amount of money that we set aside that we don't want to use unless there's emergencies. And these emergencies can be anything from something happened to your car and it goes into the workshop and you need this car for you to go to work. It could be a medical emergency. It could be something that a friend needs or family member needs because they are short of money. So now we think about it and it's just money, right? You send the car to a workshop, there's X amount that you need to pay, and or even if it's medical, okay, you have to pay for the procedure. But there's also an emotional element to it. If it's a car that has to be in the workshop, then there's that added stress that now, how are you going to get to work? When will your car be ready? Will you be charged fairly by the person that gives you the workshop advice? And after you get the car back, how long will it last? So there's all of this emotional roller coaster going on while you are digging back into your reserves as well that you were supposed to set aside. So definitely having financial resilience and understanding when and where our emotions are when we are spending on an emergency or urgent need is really, really important. Otherwise, we might spiral and let our emotions take over and just spend unnecessarily. And then when we do that, we will feel so bad about ourselves. So that's how we see financial well-being as being important.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Johan. What about Hanaa? When it comes to understanding your strengths, how does it help with financial management?
You know, I am a very strong believer in tell it like it is. And I will not pretend to have financial resilience in the fact that throughout my life, up until very, very recently, until I started diving deeply into strengths, I've always believed erroneously that I know numbers don't like me. Not that I don't like numbers, that, you know, I can never have a good relationship with numbers and therefore with money. I don't know how to manage, etc. And I used to delegate that to my husband, Johan. Right. And he can tell you many stories, but we won't go into that today, of how I just disengaged, which was very irresponsible of me. So my journey to have a better relationship with numbers and therefore money and therefore finance started only when I got into my strengths. Then looking at what I'm good at and taking what I can to help me feel more friendly with numbers and saying, oh, this is not so scary. I can do sums. I can do plus, minus, in, out. But who else is better than me in my team, for example, at bookkeeping or accounts? That's not my strength. So let me find other people who are better than me at keeping the books. So I think when I started working on myself to have a better relationship with numbers, using the strengths that I already have, for example, my strength of detail, my strength of adaptability, my strength of planner. And I did not want to share with everybody, or every episode, I talk about my strengths only. So I did ask the team today, just before the session started, what strengths do you all think is important for financial resilience? They all said these strengths as well, which I already have as my top strength. So yay for me. So detail, adaptable, planner, even I heard gratitude and growth. So gratitude, there was a very good story that Johan shared before we started about finding a very well-folded 10 ringgit note in his wallet. Phew! And I think many of us have been through that. I definitely have, you know, a 50 ringgit note, 10 ringgit note tucked into the purse or the handbag somewhere, or digging in the drawers. So those kind of things, when we have it, when we find that note that we really need at that moment, the gratitude comes in. So gratitude is a strength. And I think when we have more of those moments, it builds our resilience. So to show us the point, Hanaa, see, when you folded that note away, it was for this rainy day, this emergency, and therefore it's only good. It can only be good is what I want to say. It can only be good when we tap into our strengths so that we can build our financial resilience. And the financial resilience that we build can only keep going up. There's no, as long as we have the faith and the confidence that all of us are great learners, every day we learn something new, so we keep building our resilience. So use that strength of love of learning or curiosity to keep building on ourselves. So that's what I can say about strengths.
Yes. So guys, have you heard, did you hear what Coach Johan and also Coach Hanaa shared? So when it comes to, what do you call this, well-being, how does it affect? And also understanding your strengths, how does it affect, right? Now let's go to confidence a little bit. So what is the correlations between confidence and also financial resilience? So one of the things that really pops up to me when I was going through this topic was that when you have low self-confidence, number one, people tend to overspend. Why? Because they want to boost their mood and also their self-esteem. So they do that through buying, through material things. So when they buy, and when they overspend way beyond their budget, then they will feel like, oh no, what did I do? I made a boo-boo, right? And when they go through that, then their self-esteem, their self-confidence go back to one or zero even, right? And that's number one. Number two, when you don't have confidence, you don't feel good in negotiating for your salary. They don't feel, you don't know your worth, for one thing, because you don't have the confidence, right? You don't know your worth. You don't know how much you should ask for. You don't even know whether you should even ask for about it in the first place. So just these two things that really pop up in my mind when it comes to confidence and also financial resilience. So when you are not confident, you overspend. When you overspend, there you go again with the cycle all over again, right? And also not knowing your worth, so you don't know where you stand when it comes to finance. So yeah, I hope guys, if you have any thoughts, any comments, please do go ahead and comment in the comment section. Give us a follow, right? You can even go ahead to our website, rimasynergy.com. You can go ahead to our Instagram as well. It is also Rima Synergy. And DM us if you have any questions, any thoughts, feedback that you want to give us. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Right, let's move on to the next part. I said in the beginning, we're going to talk about two things. One is the how, and next is the tips, right? On how to build your financial resilience. So let's move on with Coach Johan first about well-being. Now, Coach Johan, do you have any tips to promote well-being for better financial outcomes? Do you have any tips for that for the listeners?
Oh, well-being for financial. Okay, anyway, I was listening to what you talk about confidence, and maybe I just share a bit more. Okay, we talk about finance. Finance is a really big word. Finance is money. Finance is savings. If finance is spending, finance can also be investments, growing your money. And all of them. And the interesting thing about money is that there's always a emotional element attached to it. If you have a lot of money, then people see you as successful, stand up, or other things, you know. Of course, there's negative connotations as well. When you don't have money, also people attach some meaning to that, meaning that you're a failure, you're lazy, and this is just whether you have or don't have. Whether I have any other possession in my life doesn't give me that much, how to say, judgment by other people in life. And this carries through to us as well. Like you mentioned just now, if I have high confidence, how do I feel? And if I have low confidence, what happens? And does money give me more confidence or less confidence, right? And money has a life of its own. It's quite challenging. So when we talk about emotions or well-being, when we deal with finance, we also have to see which layer are you talking about. Let's say just dealing with money, managing money on a daily basis, being able to spend happily when you go and buy it and it's not even on sale, and you forgive yourself or other. That requires you to be on a well-being level, which is you're happy with yourself. Maybe in your mind you think I deserve this, or I want this, or I can afford it. So you have a high self-esteem of yourself, that for some reason this is a reward. You are of enough value for you to wear this, or even higher. I want to wear this so I look better, so that I can get this job. So this ties into well-being as well. And we talk to even to people that are starting out new jobs. Go and find a new wardrobe. I know that even in some recruitment programs, that these new job seekers are given a budget for them to buy a new suit, new shirt, new shoes, so that when they go in to the interview, they feel that they're a different person and they feel more confident during the interview. And how you dress is also an expression of how confident you are. So that's on a money level. You already have a well-being there, whether you have it, don't have it, and how you spend it, etc. Okay. So some people may feel guilty. They spend it and it says 2 days later, they said, oh, I should have spent it on somebody else. And they feel guilty and spiral. So this is how emotions affect our money. Then you have the other part, which is the savings and expense, because maybe you're a bit more advanced and you think that, okay, I've heard about this budgeting. I want to get my finances in order. I want to be able to manage it, know how much is coming in, going out, so that I have extra, so that I can invest, set aside for insurance or for my children in the future, etc. So then this requires a different kind of emotion. It requires discipline. It requires the ability to look forward. It requires you to be motivated for a reward that's far ahead that you don't see now. So how many of us can do that? Some people will just spend now and say, tomorrow, I don't know, I might not even be here. YOLO, you only live once, I'm going to buy whatever I want now, right? But some people have a different mindset, which is, I'm saving this money for something in the future. Then so this is another different emotion. So this is an emotion, discipline. Discipline means that I'm sure some of you have heard like FIRE, financial independent, retire early. Don't go for the cup of Starbucks. Buy coffee and make it at home. Save your 10 ringgit, you know. If you do it at home, you can make it for $2 or even less. So every day you save $8. And there are already apps that help you do that. Every $2 you can save, I think it's called Rias or something, the app we have in Malaysia. So these are things that look at micro savings. And it's a discipline. Can you save that or not? Or do you really want to have that caramel macchiato with extra cream, and then they take a picture of it and says, hey, you know, I'm at Starbucks today, or some of the coolest cafe because of something else, you know. So this is again emotions. Then you come back to the investment part. Investment is another totally different level where you deal with risks and you deal with returns kind of appetite. So that requires a lot of logic, choices, which investment do I go in, which is a better one. And sometimes investments may go wrong and go down, and how do you handle that, right? I used to be in the equities market, and one thing that I learned in the hard way was that if you did a bad transaction, you need to limit it and compartmentalize it to that mistake. Otherwise, this mistake will have a knock-on effect, and it'll make you feel down, and it'll affect your other trades going in. So every transaction that you do, if you made a mistake, it's going down, it's only limited to that. So you have to have a different kind of mindset and emotion. Very cool, calculated, able to take risks, looking forward to returns, logical kind of mindset. So every level of finance and everything that we want to do deals with a different emotion, different personality, character that we require. Unfortunately, like what we're doing here as well, everybody lumps finance under one thing: finance, spending, saving, investment, etc. And this is where I think people get very, very confused. They go budgeting, they use the envelope. I used the envelope before. Okay, for this month, utilities, this much, put in
Yeah.
envelope. Okay, so,
Yeah.
oh, nice, I have a few envelopes. But then I couldn't fit that because that wasn't my character or the strengths that I had. My strengths was getting more money and spending more money, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I wasn't detailed. I cannot do that detailed part, like, okay, I even downloaded apps like, okay, every time you purchase something, put it in. Just doing that $8.99 I spent for this, and then you had to categorize, was so tedious. It was making me feel very negative myself, right? So again, coming back to it, first we need to look at which level of finance are you at, what emotion do you need, how does it affect your well-being, what do you want to get out from it, and what skills or strengths do you have that can help you with every different level of this. Because between, let's say, Hanaa and me, like Hanaa says, she puts it on to me, I'm okay, but I like numbers, but I can't do the small budgeting stuff.
Yep.
Okay?
So that didn't work out very well for the audience information. My delegating to my husband, because thinking he has a better relationship with numbers for the life of our marriage. We don't have, super fantastic results to share with everybody about what worked. We just have been very blessed, very, very blessed that, our families have been very supportive. And we do have a very good quality of life. So that's our blessings, right? But I want to highlight something that Johan said. He did mention that when you do your budgeting, when you're dealing with your finance, it has to come from your logic side of your brain, right? The logical side. But we all know that our relationship and the way we think and feel about money is a completely emotional thing.
Yes.
Correct or not? So I feel that only when I started looking into my strengths, as I mentioned just now, did I identify the strengths that I already have, which comes from a survey test that is psychologically and scientifically based. So I trusted the results. So when I looked into the strengths that I already have, which one can help me have a better relationship and emotion with money? So I worked on that. It used to be, my relationship with money, right? Oh, how much do we have? How much can I spend? How much, what can I buy for me to have a little bit of a high or happiness for a week? For, when we do retail therapy, when we're down or angry with someone and you want to go and have retail therapy, I had to think about the pros and cons, right? The $8.99, and then if I save my 8 ringgit from Starbucks, and by the way, he knows caramel macchiato because that's my favorite drink. So that's why I said ouch. So anyway, the savings of the small cents and all that, right, did not help me have a better relationship with money. What did help me have a better relationship emotionally was believing that the world is abundant, internalizing that there's so many opportunities out there for me to use my strengths to give value, monetize that, earn more income, and build my wealth. So having that mindset that there's opportunities, the right people to meet and network with. So, building on my skills as a strengths coach. Before I discovered that I loved being a strengths coach, I was also looking high and low. What am I good at? What do I love doing? And then giving that, monetizing that. When you find it, when you find what you're good at, what you love doing, and you can monetize it, then the opportunities and the income potential is just amazing. So that's how I feel I've improved on my relationship with money, and together with Johan and our team here in Rema Synergy, every day is a beautiful day because I get to do work that I love, and the income is pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Coach Hanaa. Thank you very much, Coach Johan. I think I don't have to ask about the tips because both of you already given enough tips there. So the number one thing that I keep hearing is to understand your relationship with money, right? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two is also to understand what the emotions going into that, as well as understanding your strengths. So
Yeah.
to our listeners out there, if you do want to know what your strengths are, this is more than just knowing your MBTI. If you do want to go through that, we have our strengths coach here, Coach Hanaa. You just have to go through the questionnaires, and then she will do a debrief with you, a very in-depth debrief, so that you'll be able to understand how to tap into your strengths in certain situations, so that it can help you be your best self, right? So how do you do that? You just go to our website, remasynergy.com, and from there you can book a session with us, and we'll be able to help you in getting to know your strengths better. And if you want to understand your relationship, your emotional well-being, right? We have our well-being coach Johan, he will be able to help you with that. Also, same thing, just go to our website, remasynergy.com, and book a session with us, and we will see. When I say we, I mean Coach Johan. We'll be able to go through the session with you, right? And find out what is the best solution for your situation. Yeah. So we have heard the hows, the tips from our well-being coach as well as strengths coach. Now let's go a little bit about confidence. So it was interesting for me to hear when Coach Johan said about being logical and compartmentalizing when it comes to money, right? Your emotions and money.
Yes.
Because whenever a client asks me, Sylma, I'm having this doubts, these problems, these issues, these challenges, the number one thing I always ask them is to identify the things that you can control, you have control of, and things that is out of your control. Because if it is out of your control, there is no point in worrying too much about it. But if
No.
it is within your control, like it's logical, you can compartmentalize it, then go ahead and find a solution to it. Because otherwise, you
Yeah.
will just go crazy trying to figure things out.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Ah,
Yes.
correct. Yes, Coach Johan, you have something to add?
Yes. Definitely. No. I totally agree. Totally out of your control. It could be totally out of your control because it's not within your power to change it, or something. It could be because it's a time issue as well, that you have to wait for certain things to happen before you can resolve it. Many things. But yes, you are right. I mean, there's so many people that I've met in coaching or even personally, where they worry about things that they have no control about.
Exactly.
And because they have no control, they can't see the solution. It becomes a constant worry. And
Yeah.
every day when you start doing this, especially where you talk about well-being or mental health, every day when you have some negativity in it, it just grows and festers. It's like a seed, just grows. The more energy you give it. One
Yes.
thing I I wanted to share, even for finance, right? There's a saying, where your attention goes, that's what will grow. Okay.
Yes.
So even in money, where your attention goes, your ins, where is your source of income coming from? If you pay attention to that, then you figure out it will grow. If you keep on paying attention to where your money is going away, going out, then that too will grow because more and more money will go out. Okay.
Oh no.
But but going back to this, if your attention is always at something that you cannot handle or cannot change because of time bar, or it's already beyond your power to change it, then it just keeps on growing and growing and growing, and it
True.
makes you worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
I'd like to share also that my last 2 years have really taken a leap towards positivity because Johan introduced to me the level 10 life which is the 8 dimensions, right? So of well-being. And in that wheel, I got to, because I'm such a visual person, and I do this and I draw this every quarter in my bullet journal, the wheel with the different colors and the different areas of my life. So finance is one dimension. Then I have family and friends. Then I have my career, so all different ones, right? And different people might have different categories, including spirituality. I have personal growth, etc. When I saw that represented, like my whole life represented on this wheel and this dimension, all these 8 dimensions, I could then very clearly give myself a rating on which area am I satisfied in, which area am I very happy with, then I give myself a big score. So I've done this level 10 life with other people as well, having learned from Johan. And for many of us, the finance dimension is usually the area we all want to work on, correct? So when we know, when we're clear and we focus on that, as what Johan just said, that's the area that's going to grow. So then we work on ourselves in that dimension and keep working. And presumably you want your ins to be more than your outs. Focus on that, please. And it will.
Sure.
It will. Yeah, that's what has worked for me. And I am very, very grateful. See that strength again, gratitude that I learned that from Johan on well-being. So all of us can achieve, higher well-being in our life. Come and ask Johan.
True, I agree totally.
Just wanted to share a story. My mother, right? My mother used to keep on saying that no money, I have no money, I don't have enough money and all that, right? And I thought that her verbalizing this would make her not attract money. It was opposite. She was attracting money left, right, and center, okay? Until I realized that she was just verbalizing, there's no money, I don't have enough money. But in her mind is like, where can I get more money? What comes out here was, I don't have enough money, so I need to find it. Where can I go? What can I do to get more money? What should I do? Who should I talk to? What do I need to do? And that's what was attracting money for her.
Her
So that
focus was always on abundance. That's what I
the intention, right?
Yeah.
The intention of it.
Correct.
Yeah. So intention is very, very important. Yeah. Where your attention goes, it grows.
That's what will grow.
Definitely. Yeah, totally agree with that. And also, guys, do not forget to celebrate your success, because once you celebrate, once you have reached a certain milestone, you have reached your goal, right? Be it you want to save a certain amount, or you invested in some things, right? Once you have reached that that particular goal, do not forget to celebrate, because once you celebrate, you're telling the universe that this is what I want, and this is what I want moving forward. I want more of this. So don't forget to celebrate as well. So whatever you've heard today from Coach Hanaa, Coach Johan, and also myself, right? Put it all together, blender it, and serve it to the world. Like I said, our podcast is named Help, We're Trying Here. We do not have all the answers.
We hope you are trying to.
All the answers. We really don't.
Yes, we don't have all the answers.
Yeah, true.
Correct. However, we are sharing what we know and what has worked for us and also our clients. Okay. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in. We are now at the end of our session, but before we end it, let's give our coaches one last chance to say what they want to say. Okay, so let's start with Coach Hanaa first. Over to you, Coach Hanaa.
Thank you, Sylma. What I want to say is I wish everybody well. I really hope that, and I believe in all of you, that we can all live a level 10 life, all the different dimensions. We may not be able to achieve 10 in every single category at the same time, but we can definitely hit a lot of 10s when we focus on it. So all the best. Let's do it together.
Thank you, Coach Hanaa. Yes, Coach Johan.
What I like to say is that although we humans have an emotional attachment to money, money doesn't have that emotional attachment to us. So it will go to those people that really want it, work for it, and also attract it. Okay, so make sure that you are sending out the right messages, vibrations for you to attract that money to you. Okay, and when you have it, please use it wisely, and also maybe help your fellow neighbors or community also improve their lot in life. Okay,
Yes,
right.
totally
That's
agree
what I
with that.
think. Yeah.
Thank you
Wait,
so
wait, wait.
much.
Sorry, Sylma,
Yes,
before you give yours, your
right.
final say, I just want to add this. Just as what Johan said that money can be used for good, and we all can have good intentions. We also know people who do not have good intentions, and they also still get money. So money has no emotion attached to
Yeah.
us. Only
Mm.
we have the emotions attached and the intentions, good or bad, and it can still come. All right.
True.
So I wish goodness for everybody, wisdom for everybody. Right. Okay, Sylma.
It looks like Chinese New Year already. Oh yeah, good see
Oh yeah,
Pachai.
it does sound like Chinese
Wisdom
New
help.
Year things. Fixie Fatai. Let's get rich, everybody. So yeah,
Yeah.
one of the things is like I shared just now, if it's out of your control, don't worry about it. Only those things that you can control, you know the solutions to it, then focus on that. Because if you focus on things you cannot control, you will just go crazy thinking about it over and over again. And at the end of the day, there's no solution to the other more important stuff, right? So focus on things you can control, and then also focus on your strengths. And remember, money has no emotional attachments to you.
Mm.
Money don't care about you, but like
Yeah.
the way that you have emotional attachments to it. So
Yeah.
think about that, focus on that, and we do wish everybody well. I'm doing my hands like this as if I'm gonna go kung si fatai to everybody. So once again, guys, today our topic was about building financial resilience, and you have just heard how having confidence, knowing your strengths, understanding your well-being, especially your emotional well-being, plays a big role in getting your finances straight, right? In building that financial resilience. So once again, this is Help. We're trying here. This is our 7th
Thank you.
episode. Thank you so much for all your love, your feedback, and comments, all this while for supporting our program, our podcast. So where can you listen to us? You can listen to us in Spotify and also in YouTube. So go ahead and follow, subscribe so that you can be notified on our next episode. So once again, my name is Coach Sylma, and we have Coach
Hanaa.
Hanaa, and also yes, Coach
Johan.
Johan here. Yeah, and we are Rima Synergy. So we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.